Yep, I'm trying to get a picture of a nice noodle. Bestest toy ever, huh? Bestest toy ever. He says I have to chop and chew on my leg. And then chew on my toy some more. Oh yes. Too cute. Too cute, Mr. Dude. What do we think about this toy? Is this the bestest toy ever? This is a Tonka toy. Big honking thing. There was an old one around here that wasn't a Tonka. It was some unnamed brand, but that was falling apart and that was dangerous, so we got rid of it. But we found this yesterday. Yay! Ready? Foop! He thinks this thing is awesome. We played tug with it yesterday. I have not been trying to get him to retrieve it or anything. Just play tug. Are you tired out now? He says, I zoomed a lot, Mom.
That was quite a ride today.
Yeah, that's one word for it. That was no fun at all.
Yeah, normally in the past when we ran into weather like that on I-40, which is where we were driving, we would just call and cancel because it's only going to get worse as you go further east.
Right. As we were driving east, there was a road sign that said that the I-40 was closed at Gallup.
New Mexico.
That's New Mexico, yeah. Which, you know, it's farther into the plains area, so it can get, you know, a little windy and stuff over there, which is what I suspected happened. But by the time we were coming back, I think they had already reopened it. I couldn't find it on the AZ 511. Most of the crashes had been cleared by the time we came back.
There were several big rigs that were either off the road or on their side, and there were plenty of fast-moving pickups who got themselves into trouble.
Hard to feel sorry for sometimes when people zip by you and then you're like, okay, their wheels are still down. It's fine. They'll get towed out eventually, you know.
Today's trip was to fulfill a contractual obligation.
Right, yeah. When, usually in Arizona, when you rescue an animal, if they are old enough to have been neutered, they will have been neutered. They gave me some pretty shaggy excuses at the rescue, but whatever. The part of the contract when we rescued him was that we had to have him neutered. And although there's a piece of me that says, you know, I don't believe in neutering animals really young, and I've seen a few animals who seem to have had their physiology a bit messed up from that. He's plenty old enough to be neutered, and it does avoid some of the aggression that you can get later in life. I've been watching him. We've got some neighbors here that I don't know if they're new or what the heck they are, but it sounds like they're running a kennel over there. And I need to sneak over there sometime and start checking out the situation, just to make sure they're not really being unkind to their animals. We have had problems out here in the past with people being arrested. And you gotta do something to be arrested out here because they were mistreating animals. And
there's not actually any need to sneak because
no, I'm
there's
gonna be on my
that
own
goes
property.
up
I just mean I need to scooch all the way over there. Because we bought properties, and I think I know which property it is that these animals are on. But there's been a few times in the last 6 months that I was like, it sounded honestly like somebody had staked a dog out and left it. So we just need to check and make sure they're not doing something stupid. Yeah, he's been sniffing a lot lately, and it wouldn't surprise me if they have unfixed females over there or something like that. And we don't need the aggression that can cause.
And we definitely don't need the problem of Rufus jumping a fence, because I can tell you one thing, he can jump over. I would bet he could do a 6-foot fence if he wanted to.
If he really wanted to, he probably could. He doesn't want to at this point. He's a big athletic dude. And, yeah, I just like to avoid some of the drama. You know, it's not like we ever plan to breed him anyway. We do plan to get him DNA tested, because we're curious as to what he is. He looks like a Wheaten Terrier, a smooth-coat Wheaten Terrier.
He's a bit on the big size for a Wheaten, but not terribly so.
But not terribly, and every breed will have a range that's considered normal. You get the little ones, and then you get the big ones that are kind of glumpy, and he's definitely on the glumpy side. But he might have something else in him, but he doesn't shed, which is a definite characteristic of the Wheatens. And that's a huge change from Jack, who was a rough coat terrier and shed like crazy. I mean, with the coat I was wearing today had some of his fur on it.
I still have some of his fur.
Oh, I'm sure we have plenty of fur everywhere. We'll be finding his fur for the next 10 years. It is interesting to see, you know, some of the characteristics he has, and it's nice to know, genetically speaking, what problems he can encounter as an adult if he, if he has some other kind of breed in him that's whatever. I don't really care, except it's a nice thing to know, you know, in terms of medical issues. It's kind of like knowing your own ancestry so that you can sit there and go, oh, well, this runs in the family, but that doesn't. And, you know, not that you can't come up with something new and wonderful or awful. It's just nice to have a clue.
He has the cone of shame, but it's not the cone of shame. It's the cone of don't lick yourself.
Yeah, well, he's still a little stoned, too, from the... He's doing better. He can walk mostly straight now, but he's very confused by the cone, and will remain confused by the cone for several days at least here.
Yeah, so the idea of fixing a male dog, really the reason is, there are two primary reasons. One is that you want to reduce or control the amount of aggression that the dog has later in life. And the second one is to control the marking behaviors of the male dog. Well, I'm here to tell you that doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't work at all. If a dog's going to mark, you have to work on him some other way to keep him from marking. So we did have an unfixed male years ago, and we were told by the vets that if we got him fixed, it would solve his continuous urinary tract problems, and it did.
And that is a real medical reason to do something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm
a little ambivalent. You know, I've always felt like It was the owner of the female dogs who were responsible for keeping their female under control. And maybe that's sexist on my part. I feel odd about it. I wasn't thrilled about it. But if it does reduce a little the tendency towards aggression, that's great. It was part of our contract. They can technically take the dog away from us if they want to.
We didn't have a choice, so it had to be done.
Yeah.
You know, Rufus is a fantastic dog. He is bonded unbelievably tightly with Irene. Yeah. And in fact, the vet wanted us to come get him
because he was
relatively early because he was squeaking. It was not because
he doesn't bark; he squeaks.
It wasn't because he was in terrible pain or anything like that. He was looking for mom.
Mom, yeah. Where's mom? So he's, you know, I'm trying to plan my schedule for the next couple of days where I can be close to him a lot. Henry is going to have to take him a little bit of the time because I need to get a few things done that I simply can't do with him around.
Yeah,
But
we'd planned to do a casting day tomorrow, but we've had to postpone that because it's pretty clear that he's not going to be really consolable in any sense of the word for more than a day. So we're going to put that off, and when it's time to cast, I'll do the midnight oil burnout of the flasks, and then Irene will be able to get up and cast them in the light of day. Now, hopefully, the sun will come back out, and we won't have to be burning fuel just to run everything.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that. I think the current forecast is days more of this crap.
Yeah, we've had weeks of overcast skies so far this year. Many more days of overcast than what we've had in the past.
Yeah, it's been, well, like the waitress at this restaurant said this morning, she says, I'm over this. I've been over this for like 2 months.
And she has lived in Flagstaff all of her life.
Yeah, it's been an odd winter. It's not the coldest winter we've ever seen here, but it's been sort of the sloppiest in terms of the waves of snow that come in unfortunate timing and we haven't really gotten a chance to enjoy it very much. There were a couple of times when we knew it was coming, but it came at night. I have to admit, one of my very favorite things to do is just sit by the window with a hot chocolate and watch the snowflakes come down.
It was actually very, very nice to be driving 40 or 45 miles an hour on I-40 and able to watch the snow coming down. That was
great. It was
great.
Beautiful. It was really beautiful. The sloppy factor has been really bad this winter. You get to keep the snow for a while, but then the roads will clear out, and so you can enjoy the snow, but it's not messing up your life in terms of travel. And this year has been mess up your life in terms of travel, big time. And I know they're expecting at least another 12 to 24 hours of snow up in Flagstaff.
Thanks for coming along with us on our ride today. I'd have rather not have to be going to Flagstaff today for the reason that we went, but we had to, so we did it. The snow was gorgeous, but you know, I'd like to hear your comments about spaying and neutering of pets. So put those in the comments down below.
Yeah, it's you know, there's way too many stray dogs. There's way too many unloved stray dogs.
You know what time it is?
It is. I have some stuff to get done, and you have a video to get done, and I have to go console a puppy who is trying to follow me around with a cone on his head.
He's laying on the floor right now.
Looking sad.
Very sad.
Yes.
Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications because we have a lot more stuff going on.
We do.